So over the past few years, I've been able to direct and shoot over $4 million worth of cheap rap videos, cheap documentaries, and a few corporate videos here and there. So the number one question that I get asked from my clients is, oh, how much is everything gonna cost? Because people wanna know how much money this project is gonna suck out of their pockets. So I need to make sure I got the numbers down with the money so I can give them an accurate quote on everything. And I've done so many shoots that I know how much everything is going to cost ahead of time. I know how much the models are going to cost, how much that Lamborghini, how much that Rolls Royce is going to cost, how much a mansion is going to cost. If my client wants to rent a grocery store to shoot a rap video inside of, I know how much it costs to rent Kroger's. I know how much it costs to rent a high school. When I go into any video project, I am extremely upfront about the money. If you were ever curious about how much a rap video costs, or you are a music artist trying to get your first music video shot, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a breakdown and make sure that you guys are not getting ripped off by your videographer, not getting ripped off by the producer, not getting ripped off by the video production company. Or if you ever watched the video and you were just like, oh, I'm curious, I wonder how much these models are getting paid. If you think that these models and these videos are getting paid a lot of money, if you think these models are making any money, you must be smoking crack. So let's go ahead and start jumping into the numbers. So the first thing you're gonna need if you wanna get a video shot is you're gonna need a nice cameraman. Now, I'm talking about for this video, I do videos between the budgets of, on average, like $2,000 to $10,000. Sometimes I'll have the occasional shoot where it'll be like a $50,000, $100,000 budget, but most of the time I do a lot of like shoots for around $10,000, $15,000. That's my like primary price range. Most videos being shot in the USA are probably gonna be around that price range, anywhere from I'd say $1,000 to $20,000. Now record labels, they do shoots for like $100,000, $200,000. Even some big artists like Missy Elliott, Ariana Grande, their budgets are probably gonna be anywhere from like $500,000 up to like $2 million, because you know they're established artists and they can afford to drop $2 million to get one music video shot. But I ain't talking about no $2 million joints today. I'm just talking about the regular smegular. You got a few $1,000s to get a video shot, like most independent artists, small record labels. Even I've had Rock Nation hit me for a shoot and they was only trying to spend $3,000. I'm like, come on, Jay-Z, spend some more money. Same thing, RCA Records, Def Jams, a lot of big record labels. If they got a new artist, they ain't trying to spend no bread on their videos. So let's talk about videographers. We're gonna start with the lowest level of videographers. Videographers that are less than $500. Now there's a lot of people out there, new videographers shooting videos for less than $500, and they probably trash. They probably garbage. You probably gonna get to the video shoot, they're gonna be like, the videographer gonna be like, oh, sorry, cool, man, I done forgot the memory card at the house, cool. Your videographer gonna be late. If you paying less than $500 to your videographer for his like fee, he might lose the footage. You will have like the worst video experiences of your life for less than $500. He probably gonna have a cheap camera, maybe like one lens. He probably not gonna have no lights. He might have a drone potentially, but yeah, less than $500 for a cameraman. That cameraman is gonna be trash. Now the next level, about $500 to $1,000, you can get a mediocre cameraman. $500 to $1,000, mediocre, probably good enough to, you know, shoot. He might have a 4K camera. He probably gonna have a drone. He might have a few lights here and there. His camera's not gonna be a cinema camera. He's probably gonna have a cheap camera, but you know, he probably won't lose the footage. If you care about your project, I wouldn't hire nobody for less than $500. Now let's move up to the cinema range. So about $1,000 to $3,000. You could probably go get somebody that has like a $40,000, $50,000 camera. They'll either have like a Blackmagic, a Red, and then up in that $3,000 range, maybe somebody with even an Alexa, a $90,000 camera. And right now, there's so many directors in the industry that people work for relatively cheap. Next, locations. So locations are not too crazy expensive. If you want to actually look at how much locations really cost, there's a website called Peerspace. Peerspace is like Airbnb, but for booking locations. You can book locations for events, you can book locations for video shoots. This is what I use for a lot of my shoots. This has like a lot of, you know, like more basic locations. It'll have warehouses, Warehouses are normally around $80 to $150 an hour. It'll have nice size houses. Nice size houses are normally around $100 to $200 an hour. If you want to get a mansion, you want a nice big old pool, big old mansion house, those mansions normally run around $200 to $400 an hour. Some of the really nice ones can go up to $500 an hour. I would say that like mansions, houses, lofts, and warehouses are where people shoot most videos. Now there's also a whole lot of other places you can rent. Like you can rent out a whole restaurant, you can rent out schools, you can rent out a jail for some scenes, a courthouse. There's a whole bunch of different locations that you can rent. Those normally go for about $1,000 for about 10 to 12 hours, which is a really, really good rate. I would say the most expensive places to rent is probably going to be the mansion. That's probably going to be the most expensive thing that most artists would normally go for. Now, models, how much are these girls getting paid to be naked in front of the camera? Trust me, they not getting paid much. On average, the average model is probably going to make anywhere from $100 to $200 a video shoot, which is like chump change. $100, $200, that ain't nothing. Even the models that are doing big, working with major artists, they still getting paid like around $200 to $300. Now, what you pay is going to be more money if you go through a booking agency. So what I do, I go through an agency. The agency charges me one price, then the agency takes like a fee from that price, and then they give the remaining amount of money to the model. So if I hit up an agency and the agency's like, oh, we can get you 10 girls for $2,000. So that's $200 a girl. The agency is going to take a pretty massive cut. So those models are not getting paid $200. They might get paid like $125 or around $140 or even $100. Sometimes the agencies be killing. The agents be taking like half the money sometimes when they be booking girls. If you book some cheap models, so let's say you get models and you only pay like $200. The cheap models, they don't be in the best of shape. They be out of shape. They be lazy. They be late. They be complaining. They ain't got no experience. I be on set having to tell girls how to look sexy and how to be sexy and how to pose. Those are cheap models. I like working with cheap models. Can you imagine having to tell a model how to model? That'd be like if I was shooting a basketball video with LeBron James and I was like, oh, LeBron, here's how you dunk a basketball, because clearly you don't know how to dunk a basketball. But LeBron, he an expert. He know what he's doing. Same thing with models. If you get a more experienced model, they know what they doing. You ain't got to coach them. I ain't got to be trying to tell them how to be sexy enough, and they just hop on set and they know what to do because they got that experience. So if you're going to book a model, bad models, if you want the model to be trash and suck, then probably like $100 to $200 on the models. Probably going to be some mediocre Johns. But around $300 to $400 for the models. They're going to be experienced. They'll probably be on time. They'll be more focused. They won't be on their phone taking selfies the whole video shoot. They'll be more professional, more focused. So you get what you pay for. Just like with the cameraman. Cheap cameraman probably going to suck. Cheap models suck. Exotic vehicles. Now, Turo used to be super popular for renting cars, but lately, because of the rental car shortage, not only are they charging a lot of money at Enterprise and Hertz for rental cars, but Turo also is price gouging people like crazy. Like the prices done went up like threefold over the past year or so for Turo. So normally when we rent cars, we'll rent out luxury cars by the hour. Normally for the more exotic vehicles, like you want a Lamborghini, you want a Rolls Royce, you want a Ferrari, those cars are normally for the cheaper, older models. We could probably get one for around $250 an hour. And that's like $250 an hour for a Ferrari, like the cheap Ferrari, the Ferrari California, the maybe like a 2012 Lamborghini, Corvette, same thing, BMW i8, like $200, $250 an hour. You want something really nice. I'm talking about a brand new Wraith, a Phantom, a Rolls Royce Dawn. You want a Bentley Bentayga. You want the Cullinan. Those newer vehicles are about $400 an hour if you want the new ones. I'm doing a video shoot tomorrow where we're going to be renting out close to $1 million worth of cars for the video shoot. And all those vehicles are going to run about $400 an hour. So for the new top of the line vehicles, those run about $350 to $400 an hour. Most guys that I meet that own a lot of luxury cars, they're like business owners, they're investors, they may be ex-professional athletes. Almost all of them are multimillionaires. So those guys are always on time with the vehicles and the cars. And it's also good to talk to them about business advice and investment stuff. So normally with music videos, those are the main costs, is mainly like locations, cars, and models, and paying for the videographer or the video production company that you want to hire. And normally those shoots can run you anywhere from like, I'd say like $2,000 to $6,000 if you're doing something on the cheap side, and then it can start going up really fast, you know, like $10,000, $15,000 based on how much you want to add to the video. Now, one thing that's expensive that most of my clients do not anticipate is dance choreography. Dance choreography is normally the most expensive assets to a video. Also the stylist. So the two most expensive things that I don't think people plan for is choreography, because when you have dance choreography, you have to hire about 4 or 5 dancers and then teach them choreography and have the artist go through choreography with the dancers. And the dance, if the music artist is bad at dancing, they can't dance, they might have to go to like 6, 7, 8 dance rehearsals. So not only are you paying for dancers to be at the video shoot, you also have to pay the dancer and choreographer to go to like 6, 7 dance rehearsals. So a lot of video shoots I've done with dance choreography, the dancers by themselves could run anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 if they have to have like 6, 7, 8 rehearsals and then be at the video shoot all day, plus have a wardrobe for the dance video shoot. And that leads me to the next thing. Clothes can be extremely expensive for video shoots. A lot of these stylists, for a good stylist, they'll charge anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 a video shoot just to bring clothes for the artist. Those two things are like normally like the most unforeseen expensive cost, is spending $1,500 to $3,000 just to, you know, not even buy the clothes, but just to rent the clothes for the video shoot is $3,000, plus the dance choreography being another like $3,000 to $6,000. So my shoots where the budget's been like $10,000, $15,000 has always involved some dance choreographers and some stylists, always pushing the budget. I've done shoots where the clothes by themselves was over $10,000. So I'm like, people don't think about these things ahead of time. That's how much you can expect for a video to cost. About anywhere from like $2,000 to $6,000 can probably get you a solid shoot with a solid cameraman with some good locations. Hopefully that helped somebody. I don't even know who's watching these videos. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody and I wasn't just rambling on too much.